Hello friends and welcome to aTech. If you're a regular on our channel, you will know that we never stop bringing you exciting and new topics. Today we're going to take you to China. In this video you'll see how China turned deserts into green forests. Is it really possible? All your answers are in this video. In just a few years, China has gone from an agriculture state to one of the most industrial states in the world. But all this has a price, and the first victims are undoubtedly the forests. From east to west and from north to south, millions of hectares of forest are affected by the wave of desertification. In a few years, the deserts have spread to many provinces like Xinjiang, Qinghai, Gansu and Ningxia. The reasons for this desertification are numerous. The Chinese have changed their way of life. They have gone from life of restriction to their life of great consumption. In order to satisfy the needs of food for more than 1.4 billion people, the country had to carry out intensive agricultural techniques. This has made the soil barren. In addition, many industries need huge sources of energy, such as coal. The consequences of this desertification can be serious. It can spread from province to province and could reach the whole of China. Faced with this problem, the government has decided to transform deserts into green forests. But how exactly does this process happen? Let's see it together. Sure, the processes may seem trivial to you, but it's a colossal project. Given the nature of the desert soil, and more importantly, the sheer size of the area to be taken care of is no small task. To help you better understand, let's take a look at the characteristics of a desert soil and the climate that goes with it. The desert is set to territory considered as arid. The conditions for survival are very difficult. First, the level of rainfall in the forests is low. It is even possible that some regions do not have any rain at all. Then, the soil is very poor, which can make cultivation difficult. In addition, there is very rapid evaporation phenomenon. Every drop of water that falls in these areas quickly turns into steam. This shows to what extent this project is impossible, even miraculous. But with today's technology's prowess, achieving this project is no longer a problem. In fact, this is one of the first times that such a project has been realized. In fact, many desert regions in the world have already passed through its stage, i.e., the desert to green forest. This is the case, for example, of Egypt, which wants to push the fertile areas of the Nile River into the desert interior. For this, many problems have been solved, notably for the water sources that irrigate such a reforestation project. The idea is to draw the region's wastewater reserves in order to provide elements essential to the survival of plants. In addition to irrigation, this wastewater is also rich in nutrition and phosphorus. These two elements are one of the main components of fertilizers. The results are surprising. In one arid and hostile desert, green forests have sprung up. The same is true for other projects that aim to plant trees in various desert regions, such as Ambition for the Sahara Desert. But these projects are carried out on similar areas of about 100 hectares. For China, it is different. Indeed, the surfaces are cultivated can reach thousands of hectares, even millions. So how does China hope to achieve this project, and what are the means of its disposal? This colossal project has already seen the light of day 40 years ago, but in recent years the wind has changed, and such a project has been impossible finally becomes possible. Inspired by other achievements of the same kind, the country has improved these techniques to offer a better return. Indeed, reforesting hundreds of hectares of desert already is a difficult task. So much so that one must take every precaution with thousands of hectares. With the know-how and technology of China's disposal, the project can finally develop more quickly. The first part of this project aims to create a kind of tree wall to protect plantation areas from advancing deserts. It is a question of creating a Great Wall of Green China. This Pharnic project mobilizes a large part of the population affected by this new phenomenon. The Chinese government has launched calls to fight together this enemy that takes everything in its way. The first result has already shown a short success during these last years. In fact, nearly 25% of the trees planted have survived. Sure, that number seems paltry, but imagine 30 billion trees planted. Nearly a quarter of them have managed to survive to bring freshness to the desert environments. In addition, we're talking about thousands of hectares. Those in charge are rather satisfied with these results and are even thinking about launching the second phase. It consists of transforming these desert regions into real gardens of Eden. But the question that torments them is the quantity of water needed to integrate such an interface. The answer comes from other projects that have already been carried out. It is a question of using the wastewater of the industries in the vicinity. However, this solution seems insignificant for China. Therefore, other means of integration have been adopted. For example, the creation of rain. This is a technique already used in various countries with their rain flow. According to the Chinese State Council, the research breakthroughs mean that the country will have successfully weather-conditioned modified systems by 2025. As a result, the total area of artificial precipitation will cover more than 5.5 million square kilometers. Weather modification will be intensified in the areas most affected by drought. In doing so, will help agriculture productions and preserve ecological protected areas. China's been experiencing weather modification for a long time. Do you remember the opening ceremony of 2008 Beijing Olympics? The country experimented with cloud seeding to reproduce precipitation to make the ceremony run smoothly. But Chinese scientists have also revealed that they would use satellites and rockets as an ambitious project. It aims to artificially recreate rainfall despite doubts about having its effectiveness. The $19 million Qinghai project is the world's largest artificial rain experiment. The project aims to divert excess water vapor to the Yangtze River to drier parts of the country. Scientists from China's Xinjiang and Qinghai universities presented the project in 2015, but it inquires the construction of an artificial airstream to transport the water vapor. More recently, they decided to develop satellites and rockets that would monitor the presence of movement of vapor. They would then redirect that to create precipitation. The technology developed by researchers at Zhangjiang University involves the use of pulp. This plant cell house-based paste can greatly improve the capacity of desert sands. This is because the sand can better retain water, minerals, air, microbes, and nutrients essential for plant growth. The callose pulp was used on the sandy plot in the Erlenbu Desert. Over time, the plot was transformed into fertile cropland. They produced tomatoes, rice, watermelons, sunflowers, and corn. However, the impact of converting the desert into grasslands into arable land could have large-scale repercussions on the Earth's climate, biodiversity, and overall ecological balance. For this Chinese project, the task is definitely huge. Recreating vegetation on a desert is a part of the proposed solutions to fight against global warming. Therefore, having solutions that go against ecological seems contrary. The most important thing about this project is that everyone seems to be concerned in order to bounce back from this global crisis. Well, the question is whether these efforts will be significant. Should we consider other means to give hope to all inhabitants of the Earth? That concludes this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave us a little comment and click the little blue thumb to turn on the notification bell. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos.